So, dear students, let's study the Schottky effects. See, this Schottky effect is actually a vacancy defect. This Schottky effect is shown by the ionic solids. So, some ions or points are vacant. Equal positive and negative ions are vacant. So, in this case, equal number of positive and negative ions are vacant. This type of defect decreases the density and the number of significant these defects are significant in number. That means these defects are seen in a great number. See, if we understand this, we will come to know in NaCl 10 to the power 6 Schottky pairs or Schottky defect in 1 centimeter cube is found. There are total 10 to the power 22 ions in 1 centimeter cube, and thus one defect is shown in every 10 to the power 16 molecules which are distributed. Or let me explain this to you, my dear students, once again, that when it comes to the Schottky effect, my dear students, in 1 centimeter cube we generally have 10 to the power 6 defects. Same way, we even understand that in 1 centimeter cube we can arrange 10 to the power 22 species or ions, we can say. So what happens in 10 to the power 22 ions, we have 10 to the power 6 defects. Therefore, or we can say 10 to the power 6 defects in 10 to the power 22 ions, and therefore one defect per how many ions? So one defect is equal to 1 divided by 10 to the power 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 22, which simply gives us 10 to the power 16. So we can say that for 10 to the power 16 ions, we get one defect. So one defect per 10 to the power 16 ions. That is what we can easily say in case of the Schottky defect. So if we have Schottky or Schottky defect, my dear students, we will have one defect. It is one defect per in 10 to the power 16 ions. These kind of defects are seen by the compounds which have the size of cation and anion very similar. So when there is a similar size of cation and anions, when the similar size of ions are there, my dear students, we can see this Schottky defect. And the examples in which we can see these Schottky defects are NaCl, KCl, CSCl, and AgBr. There is even one very important and interesting thing that we can note up here. That is what I have written with the red pen, my dear students, which I would like to encircle now. That please remember this very important thing. What is written here? Can any of you read for me?
AGBR shows both defect.
That means AGBR is the substance that you can give as an example for both the defects. Either it is Frankel defect or Schottky defect. Or it is important to note that silver bromide AGBR can show both the Schottky defect as well as the Frankel defect. Now, my dear students, we have studied about the stoichiometric defects. Now we want to study about the non-stoichiometric defects. So first we should understand what are these non-stoichiometric defects. Those defects please understand it well, my dear student, that those defects which disturbs the stoichiometry of the crystal are called stoichiometric defects. Sorry, are called non-stoichiometric defects. So those defects which disturbs the stoichiometry of the crystal are called non-stoichiometric defects. They are of two types. We can have two type of non-stoichiometric defects. First one is metal excess defects. Metal excess defect due to the anionic vacancy. So the first metal excess defect we can study is about the metal excess defect due to the anionic vacancy. Metal excess defect due to the presence of extra cation. So we have two type of defects. One is metal excess defect due to the anionic vacancy, and another one is metal excess defect due to the presence of extra cation. So and the next one is the metal deficiency defect. So first let us study metal excess due to the anionic vacancy. Alkali halides such as NaCl and KCl show such type of defects, which is known as the metal excess defect due to the cation, due to metal excess defect due to the anionic vacancies. When NaCl is heated in the vapor of sodium, few sodium atoms deposit on the surface. One Cl minus ion diffuses from lattice point to the surface, and Na that produces Na plus and one electron. Cl minus combines with Na plus and electron goes to the vacancy. The vacancy generated due to the unpaired electron is called the F center. In Germany, it is known as the Farben or the colored center. It gives yellow color in the crystal of NaCl. Color is produced due to the absorption of energy from visible light falling on the crystals. Electrons absorbs the energy and get excited and thus releases yellow color. Please remember that in case of Li or lithium, LiCl, the color spot is of pink color, and in case of the potassium KCl, the color spot is lilac in color. So now, my dear students, I am going to explain you the complete process on the whiteboard. So let us look into this. Dear students, can you see the whiteboard, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So each and every one of you can see the whiteboard, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now suppose we have, my dear student, um, this kind of, crystal of NaCl. You can see the crystal of NaCl. So once you have plus, then minus, plus, 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 minus, plus. This plus represents Na plus and this minus represents Cl minus. This is your NaCl crystal, sodium chloride crystal. It is heated into the vapor of Na, my dear students. So this is the vapor of Na. So this Na, Na are moving around. Na atoms, because it is the vapor of sodium, so it is these are the Na atoms. Now because of some of the reason, my dear students, let us say one Na atom come here, one atom comes here. This Na atom, my dear students, this Na atom produces Na plus ion and one electron. So this Na atom produces Na plus ion and one electron. Now you can see this is the negatively charged ion. This is what I'm talking about, Cl minus. You can see one Cl minus over here. This Cl minus diffuses and comes here. This Cl minus comes here by the process of diffusion. Due to diffusion, this NaCl minus comes here. But this electron, my dear students, goes here. So here what we find is this electron. We get an electron comes over here. So here we have an electron. This electron absorbs the energy. This electron absorbs the energy. This electron absorbs energy. Goes to the higher energy level. And when this electron comes down to the lower energy level, it produces the color. It emits the light. Emits light. So this portion, my dear students, where the chlorine has been diffused from its place and made to make NaCl, the electron present over here, the electron which is present over there, my dear students, this electron maintain the ionic balance and cause color. This electron maintain the ionic balance and cause color. Now there are various colors that we find out. So in NaCl, in LiCl, in KCl. In NaCl we will get yellow colored spot. In LiCl we will get pink colored spot. And in KCl, my dear students, we are going to get lilac color spot. This center in German language, my dear student, in German language, this colored center is called Farbenzenter. Farbenzenter. This colored center is known as the Farbenzenter, and that is why this center sometimes also known as F center. This center is known as F center, and these are the colors of the F center. Color of F center. So once again, my dear students, when a crystal is heated into the vapor of its positive ion atom, the positive ion gets settled, or so the negative ion from its place diffuse and come near to the positive ion. Positive ion, the atom of positive element creates the positive ion, and electron, the electron which is produced diffused to the place from where the negative ion has been diffused, and then it absorbs the energy, goes to the higher energy level. While coming back, it emits the light. Thus we can see a colored spot on the crystal. This colored spot on the crystal is different for the different crystals. So if we have the crystals of NaCl, we will get yellow color. If we have the crystals of LiCl, we will get pink color. If we have the crystals of KCl, we will get lilac color. And this center is known as, this colored center in the crystal is known as F center because in the German language it is known as the Farben-Center. So this is how, my dear student, we study about um, the defect due to the anionic vacancy, and this is how we study the defect for, or this defect which is studied under the uh, anionic vacancy. So please, my dear students, understand that this is how we study the anionic vacancy, my dear students. Now we want to study the metal deficiency defect in some other cases. What happens? Let us study, dear student. Some solids are difficult to prepare in the stoichiometric composition, my dear students. Before we study that, let us understand this, which is known as the metal excess due to the presence of extra cation. So let us first understand the metal excess due to the presence of extra cation. My dear students, ZnO, which is white in color, when it is heated, my dear students, it produces Zn plus 2, 1 by 2 O2 and 2 electrons. This oxygen diffuses out from the crystal of ZnO, and thus this Zn plus 2 moves to the interstitial site. As this Zn plus 2, which is being smaller, it moves to the interstitial site. So ZnO, which was white in color, now due to the presence of Zn plus 2 ion, this turns to be yellow in color. This turns yellow in color and the electron goes to the neighboring interstitial site. This is how the color of zinc oxide, which was white, turns to be yellow, and this defect, and this is what it is known as the metal excess due to the presence of extra cation. So now let us understand this, what happens on the whiteboard, my dear students. Can you all see the whiteboard? Dear students, can you all see the whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So what happens? Initially we have zinc oxide. This zinc oxide is white in color. Now when we heat this zinc oxide, we actually heat it. So when zinc oxide is heated, my dear student, what happens? It produces Zn plus 2 ion plus 1 by 2 O2 plus 2 electron. Now this 1 by 2 O2 is gas, so it goes out of the crystals, diffuses out. So there is a vacancy of the anion. Now this Zn plus 2 also, which is very small in size, so it goes into the interstitial sites. And these electrons are available nearby sites to the Zn plus 2. Now due to this, when we heat ZnO, which was white in color, after heating, this crystal of ZnO start looking yellow in color. This yellow spot is produced due to the vacancy of oxygen oxide ion and due to the presence of Zn plus 2 into the interstitial site. And this is how the white ZnO turns to be yellow in color, and this defect is known as the metal excess. Here you can see that Zn plus 2 are available in excess because O minus 2 have already been diffused as an oxygen gas. So this is what it is, the metal excess defect we can understand. Now my dear students, we are going to study about the defect which is observed, metal deficiency defects. The first two we have studied metal excess defects. Now we are going to study about the metal deficiency defect here. So let us study about the metal deficiency defects. Some solids are difficult to prepare in the stoichiometric composition and contain less amount of metals, ions as compared to the stoichiometric proportion. For example, FeO. In FeO, actual proportion is Fe 0.95, and it may actually range from 0.93 to 0.96. It happens so because few Fe+2 positions are filled by Fe+3, and to maintain neutrality, few Fe+2 other remains vacant. Now let me explain this. How does it happens, my dear students? Can you see the whiteboard, all of you, my dear students? Can all of you see the whiteboard, dear students?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what happens, my dear students? Sometimes we have this kind of ions. So this is what I'm showing you, the crystal, my dear student. Please understand it well. Now what happens? You have Fe+2 over here, which will be surrounded by O-2. So again you have Fe+2, O-2. Then again you have O-2, Fe+2. Then O-2, Fe+2, O-2, Fe+2, O-2, sorry, Fe+2, Fe+2, O-2, Fe+2, O-2, Fe+2, O-2, Fe+2, O-2, Fe+2, O-2, Fe+2, O-2. Total, my dear students, we have 24 ions. In this, out of these 24 ions, we have 12 Fe+2 and 12 O-2. So we have total charge plus 24 minus 24, and overall it becomes 0. So overall charge is 0, and that is why the crystal is neutral. Now what happens due to some circumstances, my dear students? Suppose we have got Fe+3 here. Due to some reason, we get Fe+3 here, my dear student. Fe+3 here. Now what happens? You can understand that the charge balance is created into problem. Suppose you even have Fe+3 here. Suppose you even have Fe+3 over here. So now what happens? You have, let us, again we have total 24 ions. But what happens? We have charge plus charge. We have 12 Fe ions. We have 12 O- ions. But now the charge has become, we have 10 Fe+2 and 2 Fe+3. So total 10 Fe+2 will give 20, 2 Fe+3 will give 6. So total we will have plus 26 charge, and we will have 12 O-2 will give minus 24 charge. So this plus 2 charge become more. In that case, my dear students, this one of the Fe+2 ion remains vacant. So this ion remains completely vacant. There is no ion present over here. So for per 2 Fe+3 ions, one Fe+2 vacancy is seen. And when one of the Fe+2 ion is vacant, my dear students, we will have 11 Fe ions. Out of that, my dear students, we will have 9 Fe+2, that will give you 18, and this, and then we have 2 Fe plus 3, which will give you plus 6 charge, and total we will have plus 24 charge, and we will have minus 24 charge, and thus the ionic balance is maintained. So my dear students, ionic balance is maintained by vacancy of one Fe plus 2 ion per 2 Fe plus 3 ion. So overall Fe is less compared to oxygen. So when we compare the number of oxygen and number of Fe, we will find that Fe are found less because one Fe plus 2 site is vacant. And this is what it is. It happens due to the impurity of Fe plus 3 ions when we form the FeO compound. So while we are making FeO, iron 2 oxide, some of the Fe plus 3 ion remains as an impurity, and that is what it caused the vacancy of Fe plus 2 ions. This particular vacancy caused the ratio of Fe and O disturb. So actually it was Fe1O1 that started becoming like Fe 0.95O1, and this ranges from 0.93. This Fe, the proportion of Fe per 1O ranges from 0.93 to 0.96. So now the new formula, if we want to write for FeO, we can write Fe 0.93 to 0.96 O1. This is the new formula we can write. So this is what it is. The stoichiometry of the compound has been disturbed, and that is why this kind of impurities or this kind of defects are known as the non-stoichiometric defects. Now if I'll read it once again for you, you will understand it better. Please pay attention, my dear student, that here in this case, if you look into, you will realize that we are going to study the metal deficiency defect. In the metal deficiency defect, my dear students, we have some solids are difficult to prepare in the stoichiometric composition and contain less amount of metal. You have seen that the metal Fe is found in contain less amount of metal ions as compared to the stoichiometric proportion. Stoichiometric proportion was Fe1O1, but we have Fe 0.92 to 96O1. So the metal is found, or metal is present in the less amount as compared to the stoichiometric proportion. For example, FeO. So when we prepare FeO, in FeO actual proportion is 0.95O1, or we can say it may actually ranges from Fe 0.93 to Fe 0.96. It happens so because few Fe plus 2 positions are filled by Fe plus 3, and to maintain the neutrality, few other Fe plus 2 ions or metal ions remains vacant. And this is how the defect is generated and the stoichiometry is being disturbed, my dear students. And let me give you the revision of the third type of defect, my dear students. That is what it is known as the impurity defect. We have already studied the impurity defect, my dear students, but let me revise it once again to you so that you can remember it well. Please let us look into the impurity defects. During the process of crystallization, if impurities are present, such defects are generated which are known as the impurity defect. For example, during the crystallization of NaCl, if SrCl2 is present, one Na plus site is occupied by Sr plus 2 site. In that case, to maintain the neutrality, the one Na plus site remains vacant, and thus the defect is generated. the number of vacant site is equal to the number of Sr plus 2 ion. So number of Sr plus 2 ion, the more is the number of Sr plus 2 ion, equal number of Na plus 2 ion remains vacant. So the number of vacant site is equal to number of Sr plus 2 ions present into the crystal site. The same type of impurity defect can also be observed during the preparation of the crystal of AgCl. And when we are preparing the crystal of AgCl, my dear students, the impurity present is the impurity of cadmium chloride, CdCl. So dear students, here we have studied all the various types of defects, and we have discussed almost all the points from our chapter, that is what it is known as the solid state. So now you can easily understand that we have these various types of defects. Let me give you a look to that, my dear students. We have impurities, or we have imperfections. These imperfections are of point defect and line defect. Line defect we are not going to study much in detail. So in point defect we have stoichiometric defect, we have non-stoichiometric defect, and we have impurity defects. These stoichiometric defects, my dear students, if we want to study them, we can see that the stoichiometric defects may be the vacancy defect or interstitial defects. These stoichiometric defects can also be called interstitial defects. They are called thermodynamic defects. Let us first study about the vacancy defect, my dear students, that some of the lattice points remains vacant. It decreases the density and found when the substance is heated, and it is seen into the non-ionic solids. Then we have the interstitial defects. Some of the constituent particles occupy the interstitial sites. It increases the density, my dear students, and it is shown by the non-ionic solids. So when we have the ionic solids, my dear students, we can have the Frankel defect and Scotty defect. Frankel defect is the defect that does not change the density, but Scotty defect are significant in number, and they decreases the density of the crystals. In Frankel defect, if we study that the ions goes to the interstitial site, so during the Frankel defect, my dear students, we can have two type of defects simultaneously seen. One is vacancy defect. The vacancy defect is seen at the original site of the ion, whereas the interstitial defect can also be seen because the original site of the ion has been left by the ion and it goes into the interstitial site. Frankel defect are shown by the compounds in which there is a large difference in the size of the anion and cation, but Scotty defect are shown by the ionic compounds, which have the size of the anion and cation similar with each other, my dear students. We can give the examples for the Frankel defect. That Frankel defect are shown by the zinc sulfide, silver, AgCl, AgBr, and AgI, whereas this Scotty defect is shown by NaCl, KCl, CSCl, and AgBr. Please note that AgBr show both type of defect, whether it is a Frankel defect or Scotty defect. Then, my dear students, we want to study about the we want to study about the non-stoichiometric defects, the defects which changes the stoichiometry of the compound are known as the non-stoichiometric defects. Let us first study about the metal excess due to the anionic vacancy. So we have seen that when we have NaCl heated into the vapor of Na, one Na plus comes on the crystals, which produces Na plus ion and one electron. That electron, one of the Cl minus diffuses and go near to the Na plus and form NaCl. Thus, my dear students, there is a vacancy created at the original position of the Cl minus. To maintain the ionic balance, electron produced by Na goes and maintain the ionic balance, but this electron absorbs the light, goes to the higher energy level, and while coming back it produces the light. Due to that, you can see a yellow spot on the crystal of NaCl, this center where you can see the colored spot is in German language known as the Farbenzenter, and that is why it is called F center too. This color which is shown into NaCl is yellow, but if you have KCl crystal, then the color is pink. But and if you have the uh, LIs, if you have KCl crystal, the color is lilac. But my dear students, if you have LICl crystal, the color is going to be pink. Then, my dear students, we have the another type of metal excess defect. That is what it is found in the case of the zinc oxide. When zinc oxide is heated, my dear students, it produces Zn plus 2 and 1 by 2 oxygen gas and 2 electron. So this 1 by 2 oxygen, 1 by 2 O2 or oxygen gas goes out of the crystals, thus the vacancy is created, and thus metal Zn plus 2 become excess. So that is why it is known as the uh, uh, metal excess due to the extra cation vacancy. So here we have the extra cation Zn plus 2 because O minus 2 has been diffused and it has gone out as an oxygen gas. This defect create color into the zinc oxide, ZnO crystal, and yellow color can be seen into the zinc oxide. Same way, my dear students, we can have the metal deficiency defect. This metal deficiency defect is created when we are doing the crystallization of the iron 2 oxide FeO. Sometimes some impurities of Fe plus 3 remains inside that, and for two Fe plus 3 ions, one Fe plus 2 ion remains vacant, and due to that the proportion which was Fe1 Fe1O1, what was the stoichiometric proportion, has been decreased from Fe 0.93 to 0.96 and O1, and this is how the stoichiometric proportion is being decreased, and due to decrease into the stoichiometric proportion, my dear students, the metal deficiency defect is created. Then we have the last type of defect, which is known as the impurity defect. This impurity defect is seen in case of if you are preparing NaCl, sometime impurity like SrCl2 remains present. So Na plus side is taken out by Sr plus 2 ion, and thus the equal number of Sr plus 2 ion. So if you have X number of Sr plus 2 ion into the crystals, X Na plus side remain vacant, and this is how the impurity defect is being generated. The same type of defects can also be seen into